Brother Carlo.
Very well, very well.
Good afternoon. I would be appreciated to tell something about your background and what happened that you decided to go to the folklore movement, and say a short summary about the folklore. And after that, say something about your connection, your relationship with Muslim brothers.
Yeah. Okay, we try.
Yeah.
All right. So what pushed me to go towards the folklore movement? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was in the Boy Scouts, no, at age 17, 18, and I was not happy. I was looking for happiness. And happiness for me is made up of friends, friends, boys, girls, that really treat each other like brothers and sisters. But at that age, I realized that we stayed together only because there was another interest. I don't know, either you like a girl or because you like that friend because he's got a car. There is always a second interest, but it is not a friendship free, in the sense that like brothers and sisters. So I was looking, and somebody suggested to me to go to Lopiano, which is a little town.
It was in Rome?
No, near Florence. Near Florence, where
You were living in Rome?
No, it was in Italy, in Piacenza, the north of Italy. Yeah. And they said, go to this place in Lopiano. You will see people from different nationalities that try to live the gospel. I never heard about that. Although I used to go to Mass every Sunday, but the gospel was just a book that with all the writing of Jesus and so on, and then the priest comments about it, but then finish there. My Christianity finished there. Sunday afternoon and the rest of the week, I did what I wanted practically.
Just once in a week? Just
once a week. We Christian, we go to church once a week. It's obligatory, otherwise you make a sin, immortal sin.
Yeah.
Ecco. So when I met these people in Lopiano, young people, a bit older than me, that they were telling stories how they put into practice in their daily life the phrases of the gospel. For instance, I remember they used to put carpet in houses, and they said when we arrive in a place, when we put the carpet, if the electrician has not finished his job, we help him to finish the job, because we have to love the other person, although it's a different company, like we love ourselves, and so on. And they looked that they were particularly happy. Also, another thing that struck me of these people was that when I arrived there, somebody asked me, how are you?
Yeah.
Did you have a good journey? What's your name? Nobody was ever interested in me before, no? And so on. So this struck. They told stories, they sang songs, beautiful songs, which I liked. But then I thought I would never be one of them. I couldn't see myself, only child in my family, to leave my family, my friends of the little town where I come from, to go to live with them. No, it was not.
Your parents were used to live.
I'm the only child of my family. Yeah. And that's it. So, but because I like the song and these people, I used to go there a couple of times a year by coach with other friends. And that's it. But when I went on a particular occasion, I heard a young chap that said, I was an atheist. I was a communist, more than an atheist. And I wanted to make a revolution with my life. But when I met a group of people that were living the gospel, I realized that they make a revolution bigger than mine. So I wanted to become a Christian. He said, there is a problem, because everybody in town knew that I was a communist. So to go to church and to probably receive the communion, you think you can hear the other people in the church that say, that is a communist, he's going to receive the communion. So in order to find that solution, he said, I went to the nearby village and I reconciled myself with God and I became a Christian. When I heard that story, to me was
a change.
A
revolution.
In a sense, it made me think, look, I'm a Christian. If I live the gospel in that way, I can really make a revolution in the world. So it's possible. I wanted to change the world. It was 1968. There was a big youth revolution in Europe, especially. And so I wanted to be one of them. So I asked, what can I do? I want to be one, to live here. They told me, it's not necessary. Go home and try to do what you have understood here, to live it as you have understood. Okay, I wasn't particularly happy, but where do I start? Well, I could start with my family. So, for instance, instead of when
your parents were Christian as well.
Yeah. In Italy, they are all Christian. Well, but my parents were particularly good people. They used to go to Mass on Sunday. So we used to say prayer evening and before meal sometimes. Anyway, so I said my field of action is with my family. So when I go home now tonight, I can probably clear the table. Something that I never did before. Or if the bottle of water gets empty, I can stand up and go and fill it up. And small things like this. And I remember that one day a friend of mine came to my house and he was talking to my mom. You know how it is. And I was reading a magazine. And I heard my mother that was saying to this chap, I think that Carlo got a girlfriend now, because when he comes home, he's always so happy. So, and I thought, you'll see what kind of girlfriend it will be, no? Yeah. But I realized, if I change my way of living, thinking of the other realized, and probably one day they ask me, why did you change? Why do you behave in a different way? Well, because I want to live according to the law of the gospel, only that. And that's it. Then I went to work in a bank in Italy, in Milan, but nobody ever asked me, enter the Focolare. Nobody ever. I met the young people of the Focolare, which are called Gen, New Generation, and I live with them the word of life, as we call it. No? But by living together with them in the same house, there were a lot of opportunity there were to make little acts of love to the other person, to prepare the supper, to make the bed of the other person, and so to give hospitality when somebody comes, passing by, he hasn't eaten, or he hasn't got a place where to sleep.
It was like a small community.
A small community. We're three of us living together, exactly. And that's it. But nobody asked me to go to the Focolare, but I realized it doesn't really matter if I become a Focolarino or not, because when I die, God will not ask me if I was a priest or a Focolarino, but he will ask, I was hungry and you gave me food, did you? Yeah. Did you come and visit me when I was in the hospital? And so on and so forth. So I said, if I live like this, I found the solution of my life. And I imagine this, it makes me happy if I live my life for the other people. No? And so I did. Then the situation was, somebody asked me about the possibility of going to Lopiano, so I asked permission from the...
Lopiano at that time was a university?
No, it was a school of formation for the Focolare.
After a while you became
a Focolarino, after 2 years, yes. If you see that kind of life is for you, and you are made for the community, it's reciprocal. Exactly. And so I went there and I spent 7 months. 7 months of my life there. Usually the course is 2 years, but because I had a good job in Milan, in a bank, and it was difficult to find another job. Another job. I was prepared to give up my job. But together we saw that...
But it was hard for you, must be hard for you to tell your parents that
yes. But because I asked for a permission at the bank to go there for a period of 6 months, the parents said, okay, you go, but then at the end, you put your head in order and finish with this story. You get married like everybody else. Okay, so I went. And but after 7 months, we saw that it would have been more prudent to go back to work in the bank and live in a Focolare in Milan with the others. And then I started my life there. I was thinking of dying in Milan because we are quite a number of Focolarini. We are something like 1,500 in the world, no? So you never imagine that somebody will ask, hey Carlo, come here, we send you to America or wherever, no? But it doesn't matter, no? Because the important is to do the will of God. It doesn't matter if you go on a mission, if you go to America, if you stay in Milan or you stay at home. Exactly, it doesn't really matter. Important is to put God at the first place of your life and try to love your neighbor, no? That's important. So, but at a certain point, they asked me to go to Canada at that time.
For the first time?
For the first time. Mm-hmm. They said, Carlo, will you...
How old were you?
I was 30. 30.
Okay.
I was 30 at the time. Were you prepared to go to Canada? I said, for me, it doesn't matter.
Your parents did agree with you too?
They were allowed. My parents were allowed. I said, I only have to redesign the map of the world in order to show my mom that Canada is not so far from Italy, and they can return home every now and then, no? But, okay, so they said, okay, go to England to learn English, and then you go to Canada. Unfortunately, I said, you know that I can ask the bank where I work to send me to England to learn English, and then I can go to Canada. Good idea. So we did that. So for 9 months I stayed there learning English in London. It was good. But then after the 9 months, it was not possible to find a job in Canada.
It seems that God helped you.
Yeah, that was the
It was a big grace.
Yes. Yeah. But it was not possible to find a job in Canada because you need a work permit. So we saw together to probably find a job in England if it was possible. So I asked the bank if they were happy for me to go and work for them, but they said, no, you cannot because you are not a manager. So what do you do? I said, okay, don't worry, I go and look for a job on my own, by myself. And they were sure that God would have prepared a job for me. So I resigned from the bank and I went to look for another job in London. I found the job after 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so let me know that if you found the thing that you were looking for, you were looking for in Christianity, in being a pious person.
Well,
did you find it?
Yeah. I was very happy to live in the community of the Focolari, yes, because you see that you put all your potential that you have got at the service of the other. No, I used to work a lot with young children.
It was exactly that you were looking for.
Yeah. Because I forgot to say that originally, when I was 16. I've seen a priest, a friend of mine, go to missionary in Brazil with a family. So I thought, when I grow up, I marry and I go to do a missionary service in a third world country. And that's it. But so there was already this idea of doing something for the other. Then, as I said before, the young people, you grow up and so on, I couldn't find friends and so on. I was not terribly happy, but then I met Lopiano and I understood that it's not important to where you go, but it's important to give your life to God. And it seemed to me that by entering the Focolare was a way to give all of my life to God, my profession and so on. Although I continued to work in the bank. I worked until the age of 65. Now I'm 72. Very good. And that's it. So my life developed in England and so on. And then here we are. In England I met the Muslims.
This is what I wanted to ask about.
Right.
Your first experience to
because
get
there was a group
Muslims.
of Muslims going to Montaigne, Switzerland, for a course, accompanied by Dr. Shumali, and they needed a translator for them, because over there they spoke Italian, so I had to translate into English. And so they asked me, are you happy to go? Okay, I can go if I'm happy. And then we became friends with Dr. Shumali, with this Muslim. And I remember, how did I become friends? The first thing I asked them, is it possible to pray with you? Because I really wanted to have the full experience, no? I said, okay, of course. So I remember...
this is what I see every day. You come pray with us in our...
For me, it was very important because, if we go there, Muslim, Christian, we are all the same. Because we are there for a particular purpose, to know and love God through our brothers and sisters, no? So there is not somebody better or not. If they pray and I am with them, I want to pray with them. Why not? No? And then really, for me, it was a great experience. No? Although I didn't know the movement.
It was interesting for you to pray with Muslims.
I never did before. So I looked with the corner of my eyes how they moved, and I tried to do the same thing. And so every now and then they shake hands and so on. But it was a nice atmosphere, no? Because you really feel that we were all brothers. No? We were all brothers. And then the friendship went ahead, and then Dr. Shumali invited me to come here to Kenya 4 years ago to accompany again another group of Muslims. On that occasion, I said, I'm happy to come. Especially, he was coming as well, Dr. Shumali, but at the last minute, he couldn't make it. So I was on my own, meeting this group of 12 Muslims, and I didn't know anybody. No, humanly speaking, I would have run away, but because I already bought the ticket and so on, I came. But that was a great experience because they really made me feel at home. They probably felt that I was a bit embarrassed, no? But so they make me feel at home, they welcome and so on. And then again, I prayed with them. And in the evening, when they had their meeting in their language, I stayed alone. Although I didn't understand what they were talking about, but the fact of being together was like a family, no? Then the friendship went ahead, and here I am for the first time with the Muslim, with you.
Yeah, can I say you fully believe in unity?
Oh yeah,
thinking God.
I forgot to tell you. When I was young, there was this fashion to ask to the founders, Chiara Ludwig, for a new name.
Yeah.
And I asked, I'd like to have a new name and a phrase of the gospel to put in practice with my life. And Chiara replied, your new name could be unity.
Really?
Yeah. And
Chiara told you. Wow, interesting.
And the phrase of the gospel was, not my will be done, but yours. What Jesus prayed when he was in the Gethsemane, before going to die. So at that point I didn't understand, but now I understand, because when I am with you, really I feel that I am in my environment, no? To build unity. It's the most important thing that we have to do, no? We have to do. Also because it's the prayer of Jesus when he prayed, may they all be one, which is also the phrase that Chiara chose as a motto for her life. Now she's dead, and her tomb is written, may they all be one, no?
Yeah.
And
this is exactly what we feel. That when you are with us, we feel that you are one of us. We never felt that you are something foreigner, you are something stranger. You are completely our brother, our father.
That's right.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Carlo.
Thank you
it
to
was
you.
A very good event.
Experience.
Thank you so much.
But it's good even now in this environment. No, sometimes I find myself praying here in the chapel, the psalm, or attend mass with one of you, and so. No difference at all.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.